Hi, this is Christopher Lewis, and welcome to Dating Intelligence, the podcast where we give relationship advice from dating to marriage and everything else in between. And always with the goal of helping you to continuously be the best you at all times.
So if you're looking for real life and honest information to help you navigate your relationships, we've got you covered.
We've got you covered. What's up, girl? Hello, guys out there in the world today of podcasting and YouTubing.
Are you feeling like a little off because you didn't have the music?
I am a little off, but why does our audience need to know that? But we have music, right, Travis?
We have music. They heard the music.
Yeah.
They don't need to know our full pause.
Well, I know, but because you didn't hear it in the headphones,
That's
I'm
right.
wondering if you were like,
Well, everything in my brain today is kind of like silent today. So I'm a little off today. I had too much to drink last night. It's been a little bit of a whirlwind lately, and we'll get into that a little bit more as we go. But anyways, honey, how are you today?
I'm amazing.
Okay.
We started a little early, and I woke up to a text from Chris saying, I'm so hungover. I'm like, listen, you scheduled these shows fucking early. Get up, loser. There's Pedialyte in the fridge.
She goes, and Travis says, you'll get a kick out of that. She goes, come in my room. So I come in my underwear. I was like walk like a kid, like, and I dive in her bed, and there's a woman in there doing her hair. And I was like, oh shit, awkward, So I felt like I should have sat on the bed, like laid like this. And all of a sudden, what's up, ladies? But I didn't do any of that.
On my fur.
Yeah, on the fur. On your Princess in the Pea bed. That bed is so high. Why is it so tall?
You know what? I have such a great story on that.
Yeah.
I love like anything big and grand.
Okay. Yes, you do, honey. You sure do.
So my bed is like pretty big and it's tall, and so you kind of have to hop to get up there, right?
If you saw this bed, guys, I'm telling you, it's like, think of the Princess Pea. It's like 5 mattresses in height, and I'm a tall guy, but I still had to go diving to get on the bed.
And you sink in it, huh?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, this is why, like, when I travel, I can't wait to get home to my bed.
Right, it's an amazing bed.
Thanks.
I don't know, I haven't discovered this before. You'll be coming home soon. Nothing.
Now that you're in
your
my bed. In your underwear. Anyway, so let's talk about the movie premiere.
Okay, well, before we get in the movie premiere, by the way, guys, so I just want to thank one of our sponsors, Versus Game, and Jamie and I have a couple games coming out for that, and Travis is going to show actually where you can find us on Versus Game. It's at Dating Intelligence. It's just like almost like a TikTok thing, but we got a lot of games coming up that we're going to be sharing to you guys. So after every episode, just go to Versus Game and you can check it out. We'll have something new for you guys.
You guys, it's really cool. It's like basically voting.
Right.
So do you think that we're going to do this or that, and then you vote? So it's kind of like the story polls on Instagram.
That's right.
But it's a whole actual app.
And you get to make some money off of it.
Yeah, because it's actually like betting.
Right, exactly.
I love it. I'm a little addicted.
All right, so now we can segue into, go ahead, our movie premiere.
Yeah, so we were invited to this amazing movie premiere that actually helps benefit the victims of sex trafficking. So Kendra, shout out to Kendra, you did amazing, by the way.
Unbelievable.
So the film was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
I just have to say, for anyone out there, it's just, when you're walking down the street, you just never know what's going on sometimes in the world. Like someone could walk right by you and they could be someone who's in, sex trafficking. And they only said that 1% only come out of it. Which is, and there's there's millions of people that are sex trafficked every year, or not every year, but in general. And it's just like unbelievable that 1% only get out, guys. You might as well just be a criminal. It'd probably better be a criminal to get out of jail before they get out of this sort of situation. But the documentary was fantastic and amazing. And
I like that it showed ways to identify those that are being trafficked, because sometimes, you guys, these women, children, they are pushed through our airports. So they were able to identify, help us identify signs and what to look for from those kids being trafficked. Like, for example, one of them is typically their head is down. They don't look up much. And then also when they're going through like TSA and security, there's one person that will hold on to all the passports of like several girls. So these are different signs to be aware of when you're traveling.
But don't you feel like the TSA people should know about this? I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, okay, I know, I see the look. I know when a woman looks at me like that.
They don't give a shit.
I better just stop talking.
They're more interested in patting me down.
You're right.
I'm just kidding.
Unlike that one TSA, she was busy hitting me up. Remember that one time I told you? She was like, hey, what's your number? And I was like, wait, what? I go,
no. It just, so it was an amazing event. Amber joined us. So I think there's a little.
Oh, yeah, you guys look great that night.
yay.
You guys
and
look
her
amazing.
Chanel jacket.
Yeah,
Gotta
you guys
love
were
her.
fabulous. So.
Yeah, and we did the carpet.
Oh yeah, I look dapper. I
Oh,
try
yeah,
to.
you do.
Yeah, thank you, honey.
His feet hurt.
That's right. They're on the carpet.
But
Yeah, it was a great night.
It was a fun
Yeah,
event.
so if you guys get to check it out, I mean, it's for everyone because it's just the stuff that goes on around us. You just never know. So, but it makes you open your eyes a little bit more in the world of things, and we got to actually just get out of our own. Sometimes we're so focused on our own lives, we forget that all this other stuff's going on in the world half the time. So
I'm excited. We have to have Kendra on the show.
I would
and
love to
we'll,
have her on.
We'll talk about it. So she just talks about her story and,
Yeah.
and her journey and on recovery. So
that's great. All right, well, let's bring in our guest for today and get her in some of these topics and stuff because, all right, guys, so we have this amazing woman on. Our guest today is an actress, model, and artist who definitely knows how to juggle multiple careers on top of motherhood, which requires hard work and sacrifice. But she's living proof with the right attitude, determination, and dedication, anything is definitely possible. With her why can't I get that word out today, people? I told you, too many drinks. With her unapologetic philosophy to life, under no circumstance should you compromise your truth, dim your flame, or change your colors for anyone, which I personally find fucking spot on. Please welcome the gorgeous and talented Monique Nicole LeClair to the show.
Woo!
Hi, Monique. Sorry about that unapala.
Sound it out.
Right?
You're almost there.
Sounds like Chris can't read today. That's what it sounds like more than anything else.
Thank you for
how are you,
having
honey?
me. I'm good.
Good. Thanks
I'm
for
good.
making the trip to Vegas.
Oh, I love coming to Vegas. I love it.
Yes.
It's been a fun 24 hours. I was able to group a bunch of other things together.
Good.
But this was definitely the highlight.
Good.
So
I'm
happy
glad.
to be
See, and
here.
that's one of the things when our guests, by the way, Monique is from LA. And so we're here at Sticky Paw Studios in Las Vegas. But it's that thing where, she comes in, she has other things going around her to make it more of a thing for her to come to our
Yeah.
show. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you
I
for
love
making
it.
time for us.
Definitely. Thank
Yeah.
you for
Feel
having
special.
me.
Very special.
Yeah.
Very
No,
special.
awesome. I'm
All right.
excited.
So photo shoots yesterday and just running around?
Yeah, so I actually flew in. I got an early flight yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Jon had reached out and he was like, "Hey, when you come to Vegas, I'm doing this grand opening at Tao." And I was like, "That's perfect.
Yeah.
I have this show, this podcast that I've been wanting to do." So I'll fly in early,
Okay.
Sunday. Well, I thought he was going to start at like 1:00 yesterday. I get there and they're like, "Oh, he's like, I don't go on till 4." I'm like, "Well,
Okay.
I booked a shoot at 5."
Oh, no.
So I called my photographer, rescheduled my shoot from 5 to 3, went back to Tao, saw Lil Jon. Yeah,
And
it was just like a hectic.
Was the show
fun.
good? Was he good?
Oh, it was amazing.
Okay,
and
great.
Tyga was there, which I didn't even realize. And I
Nice.
had just met him last weekend
Okay.
at Guy Series, the party, the
Okay, yep.
Oscar after party.
Yeah.
Tyga is so sweet.
Oh,
He's
that's good. You
he's
met a lot of
kid.
people
He's
then.
good,
Yeah.
yeah.
I met him at the opening of Delilah, and he was sitting there eating chicken fingers, and
my
I
God.
wanted to steal one off his plate so bad. But I feel like he was so nice to everyone, so I
Yeah.
feel like he wouldn't have cared. He would have
Yeah,
been like,
no,
but I
he's
think he
really
was sitting
nice.
with a girl, so I
Okay.
didn't want to offend her. So
Right.
I'm
Like it's like her smacking your hand
appropriate.
going, "That's my wing."
Right,
That's my
yeah.
wing, bitch.
I left from the photo shoot to go directly to Tao, and so I was wearing my outfit that I shot in, like black cowgirl hat, like stirrups, like chaps, like leather boots, the whole nine. Like,
Okay.
we're gonna have to show a photo.
Do you have a
We'll have
photo?
to.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
You have to bring
I'm
that up.
Send
standing-
it to Travis so we can get it up.
Yeah, I'm standing there, and Tyga's right in front of me, and he's like, looking, he's like, "Damn, where did you get this outfit? Like, who are you?" And I pulled my shades down and tipped my hat up, and he was like, "Oh my God." I was like, "I just met you." Like, I was wearing my Jessica Rabbit dress at the Oscars last week.
Okay.
So it was funny. Like, it was kind
That's
of
so funny.
and then Lil Jon was like, "Girl, what is up with your outfits?" I'm like, "I understood the assignment." You know,
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you look amazing, by the way.
I
so.
love the extra, but that's okay.
Right.
No,
now,
I love
what's
that.
his thing at Tao with a lot of people rolling
Oh
through?
my God, so many people. And it was crazy. I actually ran into one of my good friends from LA, a couple
Okay.
of my friends that I know from LA. So yeah, it was a lot of people. It was so packed. It was awesome. And you met a couple new people who, are friends with the owners. It's just like an amazing hospitality group. They're just taking over the industry. And
That's
it's-
good.
Yeah.
I love that the residencies are back in swing now and stuff here. That's when
Oh,
you
I
know
do
that
too.
everything's kind of, I mean, we know that COVID's still around, but everything's just kind of dying out. And people
Mm-hmm.
they always say, well, are people going to get back to their normal lives? It's like, we always do.
Yeah.
You know, we always
Right.
get back to
have
what it
to.
is. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you went and had a good time.
Yeah, I think humans in general we're pretty resilient, and you know, COVID has kind of
Yeah.
made us all bounce back.
Right. Well, not
a
only
good
that,
way.
I feel like, and we'll add the relationship portion of that. Basically,
Yeah.
it's that thing where everyone wants to be out and just start talking and just to anyone now.
Yeah.
So I always tell a lot of people when they're going back out in the world dating, they go, "Well, how do I do this?" I go, "Dude, it's so easy right now. Just put yourself in a grocery store and just start talking. Someone will talk to you because everybody wants that human interaction right now."
Right.
Again, you know. What about you, Missy? What do you think?
What about me?
I don't know. What else you been up to?
Oh my gosh. What have I been up
Yeah.
to?
I mean, I know you're whirlwinding around too. I mean, you're wearing your fancy outfits. You got any stirrups on?
No, but I want to see this outfit
Yeah.
that you
Oh,
wore.
you want me to show?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me show you.
Well, I want to see it, and we're gonna text it so we can show our guests
Yeah,
too.
we have to see this
I
for
have
sure.
like a video. It was really, really fun.
We got to
This is
get to see him.
exciting.
We have to go to a residency thing here. I know you
Yes.
don't really go out very much.
I
though.
don't usually go out.
Yeah. I'm going to pull you out. I mean, not like last night though, because I'm.
Yeah, he tried to get me to go out last night, you guys, and I'm like, no, I'm going to bed. We have an early call time, and then I have a shoot after this.
That's
and
right.
then we're doing cryo.
Right, but
today.
you made. Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm
You-
excited.
Okay,
Oh my
here's the
gosh,
video.
let's see this.
You actually made. Oh wow, those are great.
Holy shit!
Wow.
What? This is so hot.
All right, guys, you got to go to Monique LeClair's Insta page, and she's got an amazing outfit.
Oh
on.
my
You
God,
have to
and
send
she
that to us, by
dances.
the way. That's
What?
awesome. Yeah, she's
This is
dressed
so
like
hot.
full on sexy
Girl, you
cowgirl.
walked through the hotel in
And
this outfit?
Unbelievable.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I love it.
Yeah.
I got in the elevator and there were a couple kids, and I like covered myself and scooted out. I'm like, who brings their kids
This
to
is
Vegas?
so
Their
awesome.
parents are like, we're in Vegas.
I asked my bellman, I'm like, is this appropriate, like to walk through the hotel
Yes,
in this?
it's
And
Vegas.
he's like, it's totally
Right.
fine.
Now,
I'm like, I
put that in
trust you.
anywhere else, like when you're in Texas or something, put that same outfit walking around in Texas. You'd be
Oh
like,
my God.
you
Yeah,
know?
I would get
So
looks.
funny.
So
funny.
this is the thing, like being born and raised here and going to LA, like people would always look at me like, what is she wearing? Until I got a little bit older and maybe mature, that's when I realized, ooh, the vibe is so different. Like what goes in Vegas doesn't go everywhere.
right.
But being born and raised here, you don't know it because we're so extra. And then LA, I just know it's going to be like toned down, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But like when we would hang out on the Sunset Strip, like we were crazy. We were at the Comedy Store with
Okay.
like Pauly Shore.
See,
and-
but that's but
So
but
then
that's
we were
nightlife
a little-
though. That's
a little
nightlife,
wild.
not all day long. Like she was like midday, you know.
yeah,
I mean,
I fucking love it. I think you rocked it.
yeah, I do too.
I was like, you know, and I was getting so many like hoorahs from like other women and like people.
I
like,
would've
walking down
high-fived
the
your
highway.
ass.
This chick was like, "Yes, girl," and I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Then this outfit's okay. I guess I'm gonna."
That's like,
And you know,
I
like
want to
you're-
borrow that for Stagecoach.
Oh, that
Oh my
would
gosh.
be amazing
Right?
for you to
It'll fit
wear.
you, yeah.
Are you doing anything like that, by the way? You going to Coachella or Stagecoach or?
I honestly, I don't have anything planned
Okay.
because it's been such a busy like month for me,
Mm-hmm.
like filming and everything that I've done. I'm kind of missing, you know, like at home time with my
Okay.
daughter. So I want to kind of, you know, I'm going back to Florida. I have like another event, I think in Miami that we talked about, the white party. So I really just want to take a little bit of a time
Okay.
out. But every time I plan a time out and downtime, that's when I start booking lots of things.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
Why does
I
that
really
happen?
have to take advantage of the time at home. So I don't have any like big festivals or
Okay.
anything. I've never really been a big festival
Yeah.
person. I'm like, if like the talent invites me or there's backstage or VIP,
Yeah.
I don't like crowds and people like bumping
I don't
into
either.
me and like drinks spilling
Yeah,
on
I
me.
hear
Like
ya. Yeah.
yesterday was even hectic behind the DJ booth and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It's
you're like, this is still too much. for
20
me.
minutes. So you guys
Okay.
leaving?
I wonder
Bye.
why we're like that. Why are you like that? What do you?
I don't know. I just feel like I grew up in a really small town, like rural Florida, where like everyone knew everybody, everyone respected each other's space, and you know, they were polite. So like moving to LA where people like bump into you in the grocery store, I'm like, excuse you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
just so I just feel like people get so lost, like you were saying early on, we get
Right.
so used to kind of the day to day, we don't take a step back and be like, okay, this is a person, this is somebody's daughter, this is some, you know, it's just like, and you get lost in a crowd and it's overwhelming. It could be overwhelming. And, you know, after you have a baby, you have a small bladder, you don't want to be stuck in a crowd.
Right. Well, speaking of which, tell us about your little one, by the way.
Oh my gosh. She's
How old is she now? Okay.
She's 2, almost 2.5.
I've seen photos. She's super
Little
cute that you
sweet-
post of her.
blonde hair,
Super
blue
cute.
eyes.
Yeah.
I look at her every day. I'm like, I can't believe I made this.
That's so great.
That's how I feel
She's
when I look at
gorgeous.
mine. I'm like, I can't believe she's mine.
Yeah, I know. I
Right?
feel so lucky. It's just like Monique 4.0. 2.0. She's just like a new and improved version of me.
That's so great. Yeah. Well, I'm sure with you too, especially because I'm sure, like you said, when you're with her, you probably, it's being a mother and just like her in your life and having a daughter, for God's sake, it's just that thing where you want her to be the best, and she's going to emulate all the things that you teach her, which is unbelievable.
Absolutely.
So,
she loves boots and hats and makeup and doing videos and singing. She knows her alphabet. She can count to 10. She's so smart.
That's great.
And very strong-willed.
I was going to say, she's about 8 years old.
I love that. And I love that you use that word.
Yeah. I
That's
think
such a powerful, positive word to use for our children.
I was looking up something recently, and it said that having a child that's strong-willed is actually a sign of intelligence. And it's very good, because I was that way.
Okay.
And, so I try to empower her and guide her and kind of let her, but it's difficult sometimes,
Oh, for
because
sure.
mommy's tired and she wants to play, and well,
just wait
at
till
2,
she's
they
8
don't
years old,
understand.
Monique. When
Or
she's
16,
8,
I can wait.
So.
You know what, though? I will say this. A lot of people gave me the warning because I have 3 girls. So they're
wow.
ooh, wait till they're teenagers. They're going to
yeah.
give you a run for your money. But I have to tell you, it was the most wonderful, best experience ever.
Okay.
My girls were so amazing.
Wow.
I don't know if it's because I was a single mom. So they were like, I'm going to make life a little easier for her, or because
Yeah.
I was so strict.
You were just a good example, I think.
Yeah,
I think-
You were a
agree.
great
I agree.
example.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. But they were like, I would wait by the door and be like, if you're 1 minute late, like I was so excited to ground them, and I never
Yeah.
got to really ground them
Okay.
because they always
Wow.
followed the rules and were just so good.
But
That's
that's
amazing.
what Monique was saying, though. It's like, you grounded them by you had good examples for them and you followed through.
Maybe, I mean, I didn't.
They were
behave
already
like that.
grounded in a way.
That's true.
Probably,
Right.
but I want to go back to like her description, because I've read a lot and we've talked to different parents, and sometimes the words that we use to describe our kids, they set the tone. So if they're like, for example, stubborn, oh, she's just so stubborn. Like strong-willed is such a positive,
yep.
like better
I think it's important.
description. And our kids listen and identify with the things that we say.
And they pick it up.
Absolutely.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I think it's extremely important. So I noticed that, and I
Thank
love
you.
that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I agree.
That's great. Well, what do you do in your downtime? You said now if you have some downtime, what are the things? Because I saw you do art. You're an artist as well.
Yeah,
so
I
tell us
paint.
okay.
I've been painting off and on for like the last 10 years, but I like most artists, I go through these spurts where I'll paint a lot. I'll do these big pieces, and then I won't paint for 6 months. And then something will happen. It kind of has to be a mood for me. It's like abstract, like expressionist type. I really, I can't sit and do like fine, like oil. Like I don't paint sceneries.
Okay.
I literally just like get in a mood, throw some paint, splatter it, like,
just almost like a release as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Jinx.
great.
That's the perfect word. Yeah.
Have you sold any of your artwork?
Yes, I actually, the biggest piece I think I did that I commissioned was for my dentist, who he hung it in like his art gallery or whatever.
great.
And I actually built the frame. I went to Home Depot because I'm that kind of chick. I love Home Depot,
love
by the
that.
way.
Me
I love
too.
the way
I was
it's,
just
oh my
there.
God, just
I
the
love
way
the way
it
it smells.
smells. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just go in. I love to go to Home Depot. I was like, oh, the lumber, and just like,
Yes, it's
what
the
am I
wood.
gonna build today? Yes, it's the wood. I
love it.
We need a T-shirt. We need
Yeah.
Home Depot T-shirt
And
that
then
say
like
it's the wood.
That's a
walking,
good one. I love
and then
that.
walking through like the gardening section, I'm always like inspired.
What
Just
do I
makes me feel
need?
good.
Yeah, nothing,
like,
but I
oh,
want it
let's
all.
plant
That.
something.
God, I love that
I
all.
want to put my hands in the soil.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love
Definite
that.
homebodies, both you guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
So-
like, what's that? What's my equivalent of that? I'm like, is it Target? Is it? I don't have an equivalent like that. I walk to Home Depot, I'm overwhelmed. I walk in there, I'm like, I don't know what I'm here for. Like I literally forget why I'm there. half
I get
the time because-
inspired.
Yeah, me
I'm in
too.
like
Yeah.
La La Land. Like,
I go, I'm like, you know what? I need new lights. I need this. I need
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Wow.
Same. Awesome.
Okay. Yep.
What sign are you, by the way?
a Leo.
That's why.
Are you a
both.
Leo?
Yeah.
August 19th.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
First, second, 19th. Yeah.
Love
so,
it. Yeah.
Leo's rule.
Okay,
Yes,
do you
Carbon tax.
share custody with your daughter?
So that is a very it's always been like a mystery to everybody. It's like,
Oh.
who's her dad? Where's her dad? I fell in love with a very good looking, talented musician. And, we met in Venice Beach back in the end of 2018, kind of the height of,
Yeah.
me modeling and doing all my events and stuff. And, after a couple months of, roller coaster ride, I got pregnant. And, like most musicians, you know, he was from Texas, from Amarillo, and just played and sing the blues, songwriter. And, you know, some of the best musicians have the darkest demons,
Yes.
you know. So it's just, I don't want to cry. It's a sensitive subject, but I basically went through my pregnancy alone, brought my daughter home from the hospital by myself after a C-section. And after 2 years, he and I are now, he's, you know, been sober, and he and I are kind of rebuilding the trust to co-parent.
Yeah.
And we have a great relationship right now. He FaceTimes with her every weekend.
I love that.
And he's kind of proving himself, you know, as a man. And, you know, I think he's kind of fallen in love. And, you know, he wasn't ready then, and that's okay. That's
Of course.
life.
Yeah.
It's life.
Right.
But she's such a blessing, and she's changed both our lives. And so I currently have full custody, but, you know, I told him, I said, when you're ready and the time is right, the door is always going to be open for you.
I love that.
But I have to protect her because I didn't want her to have the childhood and the upbringing and, you know, around the alcohol and violence that, you know, he and I may have experienced as kids or our parents. So I was determined to break that cycle, even if I had to do it by myself, which I did.
Right.
So,
Wow.
Ooh, so who helped after when you came home with the baby? You were on your own.
Yeah.
C-section. How the hell did you get up and pee, girl?
I didn't take my pain medicine.
I mean, look at this woman here, but you can see just looking at her, guys. I mean, Monique LeClair is on her show. This one, I mean, Monique, just your strength in itself. You've got like this energy where you're gonna like you run the world.
That's lion.
You know, like
that's lion energy.
Right, right. I love it. I mean, you're
Yeah.
just, but it's like you have this path, and you're not going to sway from it. And once you put your mind to it, I know that's what you're going to do, and you're going to do it. And it sounds unbelievable. You as a mom, by the way, a single mom, that's not easy for
Look,
both.
I have like tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's such a great story. And I like the fact that you actually are
So
allowing
hard.
him to actually, because, you know, it's his daughter too, and you want him to experience that when he's ready.
Absolutely.
And if he's going to be on,
He's
you know.
an amazing person. He has so many good qualities, and I want her to know those qualities because she loves music and she loves to sing, and there's a part of her that's him, and it shines.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to watching that relationship really blossom.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, who would want to
Good for
miss
you
out on
for
that?
encouraging that.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
really like
amazing.
that too.
Absolutely.
Right. But who would, it's funny that, you know, when it happens like that, I'm glad that he's trying to make efforts, and that's from that end of what you're saying as well.
Absolutely. And I mean, I fell in love with them. I did love him, but there came a point where I had to say, okay, stop, you know, having a baby, I love her more.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to, so.
Wow. Well, good thing
I'm
she's not in
sorry
Amarillo.
that you had to make that choice, though. It's so difficult. You know,
Yeah.
because oftentimes sometimes we even put our partners before ourselves.
This is true.
And then, you know, once you have a child or become pregnant, the dynamic changes. So a lot of times there's a lot of women that can't separate the two and put the kids first. And at the end of the day, they see and emulate everything we do. So no matter what we say, it's what we do is what they see and they resonate
Absolutely.
with.
Yeah. And so it was difficult, but I'm a firm believer that, you know, everything happens for a reason. So
Yeah. Right. Well, kudos to you.
Hey.
Strong over there. Strong.
And then who helps when you travel?
So I have a nanny, like she goes
Okay.
to like an in-home like Montessori, and
Oh,
this
I love that.
nanny, she's from Peru. She's known Nova since she was like 8 or 10 months old.
Okay.
And if I literally like, I hug her all the time because I don't know, she's like kind of like my second mom. So she, when I go, if I have to travel or, if, you know, like yesterday, so she's with her right now, and she takes her during the week, you know, if I have to work or if I have an audition or something like that or appointment. So, and she actually cries sometimes when I pick her up to leave because, my nanny has a granddaughter who's 2 weeks younger than Nova. They're the exact same age.
Wow.
And they're
Okay.
like best friends. They're like yin and yang, and they're like inseparable. So when I pick her up and her little friend Madison is there, she's like crying, like, I don't want to go home. And it kind of breaks my heart. But then it also makes me feel good. Like, okay, she's happy here. She feels safe. This is like a second home for her. So it's a blessing.
Yeah.
If I
And you know
didn't-
she's taken care of.
Do you ever
Absolutely.
take Madison?
No, I haven't actually. Her mom's about my age and they're super cute, but I just hope I would love for them to keep a friendship for a long time because they learned how to walk together.
Wow.
Yeah, we have pictures of them crawling together on the floor. So, and now they're like 2.5 running around. It's kind of cute.
She found the perfect nanny.
Right.
That's a
Does she
good
speak
one.
Spanish to your daughter?
Yes, she
Oh,
does. And I
good.
wanted that. I wanted
Yeah.
her. I mean, especially in California. My
Right.
mom, I grew up in, South Florida. My mom speaks fluent Spanish. She didn't teach me. So I moved out to LA. I'm like, what am I going to do with my French? It's not going to help me. So I went from French to Franglish and
Yeah.
but yeah, she teaches her Spanish and like sometimes she'll say things in Spanish and I'm like, Google Translate, like what? But no, it's
She's
good.
like, is she cussing at me? What was That's great. I don't know why a parent, if you know another language, you should. It's like a sin if you don't teach your child how to speak
You have
that
to do
extra
it when
language.
They're young.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have
Right.
to do it when they're young.
Right.
I try to speak some French to her too, but I don't think she's interested.
How much French do you know, by the way?
I'm not fluent.
Okay.
I'm like mid. My grandfather was.
Okay.
And he would sing lullabies to me in French and speak French. They're French Canadian from Montreal. So,
Okay.
it's the saying. What's the saying? If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, there's not a lot of people that speak French with in LA. So I find someone, I'm like, ooh, and then I'm like, ooh. Just kidding. I'm rusty.
like,
Never
no.
mind.
One of my,
Okay, what about sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No.
Okay, so what about dating and having a
goodness.
small child?
Oh my gosh.
Because I want to
Crazy.
know, do you tell them right away that you have a baby? Or do you wait?
I tell them right away. It's on my Instagram. That's the
okay.
one thing, I have girlfriends who are moms and you would never know that they were moms. But for me, it's just like, you told me you had 3 girls. I was like, oh my God, first of all, she looks amazing.
Thank you.
I would have never thought, but it's just like, for me, I'm like, it's such, like, she saved my life.
Yeah.
And I probably would have stayed in the relationship had I not gotten pregnant, like you were saying. And I'm so proud of her and like everything that I went through to have her. I mean, I didn't meditate as an adult until I got pregnant because I just didn't want any stress, you know what I mean? So I'm so proud of her, like, and she's such a big part of me that it's just like, this is who I am. Like, yeah, here's a picture of me with some rappers at all these events, and here's a pictures of me modeling, but here's pictures of me in our sundresses and hats, like doing mom and little girl things, because that's
like
such a big
that.
part of who I am. So I don't want to hide that. So it's a big, obviously guys, you're beautiful too, Jamie. So it's not like it's not hard to get a date or to get a one night
Right.
stand as a beautiful woman, but finding someone who's willing to kind of take on the whole
Go along for that
responsibility
ride.
and go
Yeah.
along for the whole ride, it's different. So I've been very picky and choosy. I think I've been more picky and choosy now as a single mom than I
You
was
have to be.
before.
Yeah.
So when you say that picky and choosy, you mean before you go out with them, or like, let's say you're on the first date, you can kind of suss it out pretty quickly in that sense? now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking with my friends yesterday, and it's like, clearly I have a type. I like, because I grew up in the South. I like people. I like gentlemen who are, kind of masculine and kind of down to earth, and that's because that's what I grew up around, and that's what feels safe. And security and stability are like the 2 biggest things I
Yeah.
feel like right now. So, like a guy who is kind of like living with roommates or couch surfing, like the hot surfer guy, the van guy, like, no, that's not, no, thanks, bye. But
That's
yeah,
for the
so-
now, not for the later, too, by the way.
Well, it's too, she has to not only think about herself, but the type of energy she's going to be bringing around her
Yeah.
daughter.
Right.
For sure.
But
So-
she
So
said some-
sometimes it takes a little while
does.
to like,
for sure.
for me, like I never allow anyone to pick me up at my house on a date.
Yeah, you're good
Yeah.
at that, too.
And then even after I'm dating them for a while, it's going to be a few months.
Yeah.
Like they're like, hey, can I have your address? I want to send you something. I'm like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
Can I pick you up this time? We've already went out on like 5 dates. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I'll meet you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. You never know.
You have to like protect your energy, your
sure.
space, your home.
Yeah.
Like your freaking daughter's there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I have that rule, like nobody meets her
Yeah.
because she's learning who people are in her life and who she can trust. And I don't want her meeting.
Right. Especially at the younger age, too,
Yeah.
because they latch on a lot faster,
For
too.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
And she's currently, building that relationship with her dad. So I want to protect that. And I don't want other men, absolutely. Like Jamie said, 5-6 months, maybe a high bye, but there's been none of that. So
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, once again, because you suss it out really fast, I think before you even get to that point, if it's 6 months, then it's somebody that you've already go, okay, I feel like this guy can go along for the ride a little bit longer. This episode is brought to you by Smoke Lab Vodka, which is India's first premium vodka to make its way to America that is made from high-quality basmati rice and pure Himalayan water. It's 5 times distilled for superior taste and character, has a 2-step filtration process that goes through charcoal and silver.
It's gluten-free and vegan.
Gluten-free and vegan. The distillery where it's made has 0 carbon footprint and 0 waste.
Smoke Lab Classic, which is the ultra smooth tasting vodka that can be used to make amazing martinis or your favorite classics.
And then there's Smoke Lab Aniseed, which is an expression of the much-loved Indian herb aniseed and is combined with the classic vodka to give this spirit a more flavorful, sweet, and spicy taste.
So when you're out and about, whether on a date or looking for your potential partner, make sure that you ask for Smoke Lab Vodka.
I'm going to get some right now. So, anyone like that as of yet, possibly? Any potentials?
no.
Has
not
anyone
really.
passed the 6 months, Monique?
Hold on.
she goes,
She's counting.
I mean, I think 6 months is either like you kind of know right away when you meet somebody, like
Yeah,
if they're
if
what
there's
you're
gonna-
looking
yeah.
for, if
Yeah.
there's going to be any longevity. It's just after that, it's just really like after you meet them, it's kind of like, okay, let's learning out who they are and kind of their personality and how they operate. And if it's, if it's like congruent or parallel to like what you want, and if you could, because I was seeing this guy, he was amazing,
Okay.
but just like he wasn't very emotional or like communicative. So for me, I'm like, you're great, your resume is amazing,
right.
But I just don't feel like
Because you knew it was going to fall flat probably 3 months from now. It's like, if you're not
Exactly.
talking now, what are we going to have to talk about later?
And I'm like, just because I'm a single mom, why should I lower my expectations?
Good point.
Because I have so much to bring to the table, right?
Right.
That I feel like being a single mom, even in LA, is not a weakness. It doesn't take me off of any list, because if anything, I'm more financially stable, more responsible than the average girl.
Right.
Let's be honest. Who's out partying or doing God knows what at whatever time of night.
Like
So,
drugs, she can't really do drugs. Like
I don't. Even
like-
if I didn't have her, I couldn't do it.
Right,
So,
but
yeah,
I'm
I
just
never-
saying, like,
Yeah.
like I don't drink. I've never done a drug in my
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
but I had my kids young, so I always
Yeah.
felt a sense of responsibility.
For sure.
So I'm
Yeah.
like,
Absolutely.
like even if you want to, you kind of, if you're a responsible parent,
Right, if
you
you're
can't
responsible.
No, that's
because
who
I'm
you
like,
are.
well, shit. What if someone breaks in my house tonight and I'm fucking drunk? Am
Yeah,
I going to be able to save my kids?
No,
Probably not.
exactly. Exactly.
So it's weird. Your mindset changes once you become a parent, because you're not only responsible for yourself, but this little
Other-
person,
yeah.
keeping them alive too.
for
Right.
sure.
This is why I appreciate motherhood, ladies. I
Yeah.
appreciate both you girls so much, because of the fact I'm a product of a single mom. My dad's always been in my life, but my mom, at a very young, for us, all three of us, I remember she went on one date, and I think I was like 8 years old at that time, and she came home, and I remember this distinctively, and I was like, "Mom, how was your date?" And she goes, "Yeah, it was good," but she goes, "You know what?" She goes, "I'm not going to probably ever go on another date in my life, because I want to devote my time to my children, to you guys." And I was 8, my sister's 10, and a 6-year-old. And she was single her whole life, and she devoted her whole time, like as you with your daughter.
Yeah.
That was her. She was like in you at the door.
Yeah. I
She
think
was
I'm
our
coming to
disciplinarian.
that
She was our
point.
educator. She was everything. And it was,
Yeah.
and it made me, like your kids, go, wow, which your daughter will probably do as well. Where I was
Yeah.
like, all I want to do is make sure that I do right by my mom. And I just want to make sure that I get out of this house and not be any grief on her, because it's
Yeah.
bad enough that you're doing all this by yourself. We need to be exemplary for you.
Kids know whether they're a priority or not in your life.
Yeah.
And like Jamie was saying, like how you act, your actions, that's what they observe. And that's what I observed growing up, I knew my mom loved me very much, but she was always very busy and had a lot of things going
So
on.
was mine.
And it was kind of like, I learned, my mom's amazing, by the way. I love you, Mom, if you're going to watch this. But she was very busy, and she grew up, my mom's like full-blooded Native American, and like that alcoholism and that side of the family is disease.
Right.
And so she grew up in a very violent alcoholic home, and she was the youngest of 4. They grew up poor, like in the middle of the orange groves. And so she did the best she could with me,
Single
and,
child, only one?
I have a younger
Okay.
half brother. And so, you know, my mom was amazing, but I didn't feel that presence. Like I felt like she was so busy and she always had everything. And that's so important. Like for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I like right now I'm like, I really want to get home to Nova.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like going on a date or doing something, like going to an event, it's like, okay, this has been great, but like, I feel guilty. I want to go home. Like, you know, it's been fun, but it's like, you know, so it's that's constant sense of, like you said, like obligation to your kids. So, yeah.
Okay.
And
Maybe they come
I
first.
feel like it's not that, you genuinely miss her and want to be with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes like the guilt thing comes in, but really at the end of the day, that's probably where you'd rather be anyway.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the events that we do, it's not really for the party, but it's more for like our business.
Right.
To build.
And,
Yeah. And that's what I have to tell myself is like, I'm hustling, I'm networking.
Yeah, you're working, girl.
I'm like, I shot 2 music videos last month, signed with a new agency, like did all these
congratulations.
events.
That's great.
And, you know, and like building relationships. Like I wouldn't be here, you know, if it wasn't, you know, for networking and things like that. And then we just had Michelle come in, and who I've known for years. We didn't even know. It's such a small, it's a really small community that
Yes, it
we
is.
all
Yeah.
we all work in. And so I feel like that's important. And you know, I'm a nurse as well. So I'm like trying to juggle like 2 careers right now. And I'm really, you know, the entertainment and the acting and everything is kind of really picking up. So I'm like, I want to focus on that while I can.
Good.
And a girlfriend of mine back in Austin kind of reminded me, told me something when I was pregnant. And she was a dancer and her husband was a musician as well. And they're very good friends of Nova's dad. And she reminded me, she said, you know, even after you have your kids, you have to keep your sense of self.
Yeah,
you
you
have
do.
to keep chasing your dreams, because your kids are going to thrive off of that. They're going to be proud of that. And you're going to, you know, inspire them. You can't just stay home and want to be a mom. You can do that, but you have to, you know, keep acting, keep modeling if that's what you want to do, because that's going to inspire her. She's going to watch it and she's going to think that she can do anything too.
Right. I think you're juggling it pretty good, by the way. I can just tell you're juggling. I mean, and that's something that I was going to ask you, by the way, what you had emulated, what your friend just said, because you wouldn't be here today. And even though you said you want to be at home, but also you have to do for you, because you're making your life stronger for her at the same time, which is amazing. And you as well. I mean, 3 kids, man. I mean, it's, oh, man.
If you met somebody now and he was like, babe, I want you to stay home and just be a mom. Let me take care of everything. Yay or nay?
I had that recently and I turned it down.
Okay.
Why?
I actually just, I was dating, I moved back to LA after I had Nova, because my mom was like, you know, come back to Florida, let me help you raise her. You can live with me. She was probably 8 weeks old at the time, 4 to 8 weeks old. And I said, Mom, that's a great offer, but I have a life back in LA and I have a calling and I have a network. I have friends. I have I have family there too.
Yeah.
There's money to be made. I
Yeah.
have to go work. I can't stay in, you know, as much as I love my hometown, I can't. I have to go back. So I moved back to LA January of 2020, right before COVID, with a stroller and 2 duffel bags and an 8-week-old on my chest, and just like through the airport like this with a baby right here like this. And so I moved back. I like had a travel contract as a registered nurse. I didn't have they set me up in an apartment. All my furniture and stuff was still in Austin at the time. And literally that month, I was like, you know what? My girlfriends were like, why don't you start dating again? You look amazing. I'm like, oh, well, we'll see. I ended up meeting this guy. He was this orthopedic surgeon. And we dated off and on for 2 years. And he, you know, kind of was like a father figure to Nova. I mean, he met her from like right away early on.
Right.
And we were together for 2 years. And, you know, he has this little dog. And so we were kind of like a family for the first 2 years. And I feel like he was so the opposite of what I had previously experienced.
Okay.
He was, you know, ate the same food every day, went to the office every day at the same time, like so routine and stable and so great. You know, but we ended our relationship in I think August of last year, you know, after being off and on for a while. And he wanted to kind of reconcile and wanted to get married and have more kids. And he's like, you know, you wouldn't have to work, you wouldn't have to do all this. And there were other relationship issues, you know, because he was like 14 years older than me.
Okay.
And I was like, I would not I feel like I would be sacrificing my freedom and my dreams, and I'm
Yeah.
doing fine without you. And I felt like the first 2 years and this is goes for all single moms that are listening, because I feel like I felt like I needed him the first 2 years. I was like, man, this is a great deal. This is a great guy. I would be crazy to turn this down. But then we started having like a lot of arguing and like there wasn't really a lot of compromise. And I kind of could foresee what the next, I would
phase
be
was
married
gonna
to a
happen.
surgeon, but would I be happy?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to sacrifice my happiness or go down that road. And, so, and then I realized after ending the relationship, a couple months into it, I'm like, I live in Marina Del Rey. I have a 2-bedroom. I'm doing okay. I don't get any help. I don't get child support. I'm doing everything and I'm working. Like, we're good. Like, why do I need a man?
You don't.
Why do I need somebody to stress me out and like make me not feel good enough or give me a headache? Or I don't need that anyway. And so kind of like you were just saying with your mom, how she just like devoted.
Yeah.
I'm right there because I got so much on my plate with work, and I'm also in grad school, like for my nurse
Yeah, you're
practitioner.
busy.
So I'm like, I really don't have. When I start to like somebody, I kind of tell myself, like I did this recently with a guy. I just stopped saying, I'm like, I don't have the mental and emotional capacity to give like a relationship right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I say that, and then somebody's gonna pop up like,
Well, but the difference is, and I'm going to use your quote, by the way. You need someone like in that situation. He wasn't helping you win. Like you always said, you want to be help someone win.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, though. He wants to like, not that I'm sure it's like there's a sense of control, because if he's doing everything, you're losing your sense of like self-worth.
Independent.
He needs
Exactly.
to be
Thank
building you up
Yeah.
and helping create
Yep.
new opportunities for you. And you guys are
Yeah.
fucking winning together
Yeah,
and building an
that's-
empire.
I love when
So,
she says that.
Like, you're supporting his, like you're sending him business and he's feeding you just the same as you're
Right.
feeding him.
So I'm like, you know what? He was a little bit older. And my mom was like, why don't you just find someone your age that you can build a life with? And I said, that would be great. And I could do that if I were in Texas or if I
was gonna say,
I'm
if
in
she's
Los
not in LA.
Angeles. I'm in Los Angeles.
I was
And
just about
guys
to say
my
that.
age are on the same kind of journey that I am.
Yeah.
They're trying to build themselves. You have to be, as an actor or anybody in the industry, you have to be readily available all
Yeah.
the time.
And devoted to the
everyone.
craft.
And devoted to their craft. And it's really, and they do sacrifice. I mean, I'm good friends with, you guys know Fabio. We dated for like a few months.
Okay.
And like we remained good friends, but it's just like, he's just like he's permanent. I'm not going to like throw him under the bus right now. But he's just like permanent bachelor. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
But he devoted so much of his life to his career.
And image and all that
And
stuff as well.
And, having to, it's a sacrifice. Having children, Jamie, is a sacrifice. And a lot of men don't want to make that sacrifice if they don't have to.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
You know?
because once again, we feel like, and I have to say this even for myself, but I'm a great dad. I'm not gonna say this for myself, but I know a lot of guys out there, it's like the moms, you guys take care of everything. And most guys are just like, oh, she's got it handled, without ever thinking twice about asking if you need anything or whatever.
I think
And that's
a
the thing.
problem with strong women too.
Yeah.
And I feel like when they think that you have everything handled and they don't know how to offer help. But then in return, as women, whether you're a mom or not, as women, we don't know how to accept
We have a
help.
hard time saying
Yeah.
yes and accepting it.
Because
I need someone that's just going to do it.
Yeah.
Don't ask me.
Yeah.
Figure it out and do it.
Yeah.
Don't dangle the carrot. Like, we don't work that way.
I hear you.
So if
I-
you want to help, don't ask me. Just send it and take care of
I'm
it.
the same way, because if you have to take the time to ask,
and I don't want it.
I don't need it, and I don't want it.
Right.
So
Well, ladies,
Why are we that
let me
way?
talk to you
I
about
think that's
myself
our
here.
ego.
So I'm going to talk about this guy.
Sometimes I wonder though if we need to if I need to
Tone it
reel
down?
it back
No,
in,
no,
tone it.
no, no, no.
Because
And by the
I'm
way,
like,
Don't
my
both-
mom.
is that my ego?
Hold on, both you girls don't go down that path. I'm going to stop you right there. Stay
wants
who
to talk
you
about
are. Stay
himself for a
very
second.
strong. No, I'm going to seriously stay strong to who you are, because once again, it's like the guys who are coming, and I only surround myself around strong, powerful women, because the fact that you should be on a pedestal to where, like you said, you guys are equal, and the guys should be able to know when to step in when you need help. Like my girlfriend or my ex, or like hanging out with you two. It's like if you know how it is. Like when you said I handle shit. Like I don't
Yes,
wait
I
around.
love
I
that. It's
sense
so
it. I
attractive.
sense it. And I know she'll handle her own shit, but I go, you know what? I can sense she needs some help, and I just step in and do stuff. So it should be like a feeling of knowing automatically, never just like, well, you should have just asked for help.
No.
It's like, no, you don't need to ask for shit. So don't apologize. Don't reel anything in.
And kind of,
like, sorry, I'll get off my soapbox.
No. I agree. And then with what she was saying, you know, being a strong, independent woman, you know, my mom is a little bit more submissive. And she tells me, you need to learn to be more submissive.
No.
You're so strong. You need to, excuse me. I'm like, no, why do I need to be more submissive? Because to have a husband, this is not the 50s, Mom.
And guess who's not happy anymore? Guess who's the sad one in the relationship?
Yeah.
You know?
And it's our society. It's like social conditioning, and they start like reeling this into like our kids at such a young age, and it's not fucking reality. Like this is not a fucking fairy tale.
Right. So guys, we're going to stay on this path because this is exactly what we're talking about today, guys. We have Monique Nicole LeClair into our show today, and thanks for being here. Our topic of the day in the middle of the road through this thing now, it's called No Apologies. And we've been talking about this through the show most part, but I'm just going to define it right now. Never apologize to anyone for who you are and what you stand for. Even though we all are fighting for something in this world, the one thing you should never lose is oneself. And that's why off that note, the segue to this is like, powerful women, there's a lot, like I said, a lot of my friends going, I don't know why I can't get, so I go, because first of all, the guys can't handle who you are, and it's not your fault. Why do you guys have to go, I need the real, or I need to dumb it down
I'm
some?
not dumbing shit
You know, there's no way, stay you are. And then guess what? The guys will surface automatically, the ones who can handle you. The guy who can step to you and be able to stay toe to toe with you and not flinch, that's the guy. If you have to, all of a sudden a guy goes, ooh, like, or feel like all of a sudden, oh, or that's the flinching side, or like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. That's not the guy, you know?
I recently was dating a guy who was very quiet and kind of passive. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to turn this up a little bit, actually, and be a little bit more strong and independent just to see if he can
take it. And
he buckled.
Did he roll over like a dog? You know, like when the dogs appear, they roll over.
Because they can't.
Yeah,
he couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
And I actually, when I end up, I found myself being a little bit more bold, and I'm like, you know what? Can I say cuss?
Yes, you can.
Like, fuck you. I'm not gonna, like, you know what? You need a plain Jane. No offense to the plain Janes out there. You need a plain Jane, someone who's gonna be passive and quiet and is gonna let you lead, because I love this song by Sheryl Crow, Are You Strong Enough to Be My Man? It's like my thing. It's like my theme song, because it's like, it's really hard to find a guy who is, you know, strong enough.
Right.
And who can handle it. But you don't sacrifice who you are. You don't sacrifice your strength and all of your light and all of your qualities just to have someone in your life.
Right.
Because you're going to end up resenting them. You're going to end up resenting yourself.
And look what you did. You had the physically say, mentally say, I'm going to turn this up just to fuck with them. You know, that ain't going to last.
No,
and by the way,
I don't think it was like fucking with them.
No, I mean, she literally, I mean, not in that way, but
she needed to see.
Right.
Like,
but
she's just confirming what she already knew.
But if you're doing that, but let's
confirmation.
say someone out there does that, right? And they're doing that, all of a sudden it's like, you know, now you're like in the control, and all of a sudden it's like, is it fun? For people who stay in that, let's say not you, but someone who says, I need to turn up, and then you stay in it knowing that he's never gonna ever be anything different. Why most people would stay in that, and that's what drives me bonkers. I
would hope not. I would hope
not too. I would hope not.
Maybe we can inspire those people.
Yeah. I mean, and the funny thing is too, is that when I'm in a relationship, when I'm with somebody and when I love them and respect them, I am like the sweetest, calmest lioness, like in my pajamas at home, cooking, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like catering to your man.
Yeah.
There's nothing that makes us happier.
We love to take care of people.
Yes.
We take care of our children. We want a man that we can take care of too. But if you can't let us be independent and strong, and you can't earn the right to be next to us, then you don't get to see that side of us.
See, you hear that, guys out there? This is the secret. It's really just them telling you what they need, and you have to pay attention. A lot of people don't pay attention. So I appreciate you guys. So, and I like the fact that, and you do the same, Jamie, like you never sway from who you are. You know, it's like you never act like anything different. And that's the whole point of this whole thing. And I'm glad you're here, because this was when I talked to you the other day, I go, this is the perfect topic for you. You know, like you don't apologize for who you are. You're strong, you're independent, and you know who you are. And to raise a single daughter and automatically know what you want in your life, that's a win already for you. And so don't ever let anyone, even your mom, you know, I'm glad that you did not go back and you stayed and just doing your thing.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to succeed. Well, we're Leos.
I'm excited. I feel like I just met a new best friend.
Yes. Same. Yes.
Jamie, wife asked me something when she asked me a question. She goes, "Do you think?" I go, "No, don't even think about that with the guys that you're seeing." I go, "Just say fuck them and just do you."
Text me next
Yeah,
time.
right,
I'm
I'll
like,
text you.
fuck, it's like pulling teeth to get anything out of this guy. So now I'm like to the point where I'm like,
Same.
I
feel
don't
like-
want to text you anymore. It's so boring.
Exactly.
You're
And
so
I'm-
boring. That's all I get.
That's what I was just dating, was somebody who was boring. Oh, and, you know, I would get upset at him for something, you know, and his response would be, I'm like,
Right.
there's no
Come on.
passion.
Give me
Yeah.
something.
Like,
Yeah.
fight for it. You know what I
Fight
mean?
for it.
Look
Do
what he's got
something.
here.
I'm
Fight
like, you
for
just
that.
read this. Tell me about it. Did you like it? It was good. I can't
Yeah.
do anything with
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
good.
Honestly, I feel
Like there's no conversation.
Yeah,
Like teach me. Let's learn.
Yeah, I feel like men want a woman who is, this is just from a man's perspective, they want a woman who's strong, who's independent, who's not a gold digger, who's sexy and all of these wonderful things, until they get her and they
Yeah,
realize how
that's the
much
thing.
work it is to have her.
Right.
You have to invest in conversation and time, and it's not all on your own terms. You don't get to have your cake and eat
Yeah,
it too.
well said. Yeah, I can take it one step farther and sum that up in the one word. It's called ego. So when they, I was going to say earlier, like all guys want the strong women, but once they get you, they don't know what to do, because all of a sudden they realize, wow, it's their egos get bruised. You know, it's like she's doing
gotta step
for
their
herself.
game up.
Where do I fit into the program? If you're running around, where do I fit in, Monique?
We're a team.
What am I doing?
What are you talking about?
Wham. That's all it is. Wham, wham, wham. And they become big whiny babies, and that's the
They're all a bunch of mama's
I'm
boys.
telling you, and I'm an I tell, this is why I do this show. I'm an advocate for women, but I also tell guys, I go, dude, it's so simple. Guys are easy creatures. I'm an easy creature. I mean, yeah, we fuck up a lot, but at the same time, it's like, just let your egos go and just be who you are. Because if first of all, if they're with you, that's a win. You know what I mean? Just be you, and just they should be able to stay
we
up
already
there.
picked you. It's obvious.
Exactly.
So
Right.
just
Right.
don't screw it up.
Yeah, exactly.
And finding a strong woman is such an asset, because I
Huge
feel like
asset.
they make you step your game up.
For sure, absolutely.
But it also makes a lot of guys feel weak, though, because because
shouldn't,
once
though.
again, as you women get, or at a young age get said certain things, as guys, we're supposed to provide, we're supposed to do this, and so when we can't do that in a certain way, we feel like, oh, why am I feel weak now? I feel like they're doing better than me, and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's the other half of it, honestly. So that's why for you and for you guys both need guys who are your equal. You don't need, like you said, a surfer. We've already talked about that. You know, it's the funny part, but or just some
I know
good-looking
one that
dude.
lives in his van.
That's right. Some good-looking dude. You need someone who's your equal, and sometimes you might have to sacrifice. Well, no, I'm going to take that. You don't have to sacrifice shit. So because then it's like it'll come. It'll surface.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying life and having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good time, right?
It is a good time, you know, and I'm busy enough as it is. And, you know, I feel that I dated a little bit. I tried that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just put all the focus on my daughter and my career. And if the right person comes along, I'm not going to slow down or pump my brakes or steer any type of way.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just going to be able to drive right next to me and keep up. And if they can make it one lap, let's fucking go.
Yes.
It was that 4-minute mile. You got to keep it that 4-minute mile.
NASCAR, baby.
That's
Yeah.
great. So what are Monique, for you, what is your what's one thing that you wish you could be better at? You know, have you ever, like right now, what's something you could be better at? You know, I'm saying no apologies for anything, but you know, we all go, if I was just, I need to focus a little bit more on this, because I know that you have a lot of things going on. So what's one thing that you sometimes sit there and go, I should focus just a little bit more on this?
I mean, the first thing is always just like my daughter. Like every day I'm like wanting to figure out how I can be a better mom. And she's at that, a lot of people call them the terrible twos. And I call them the terrific twos. I try to call them the terrific twos because they're terrific. She's cute. And so I think, I'm very adamant on like not being on my phone when she's in the room or when she's around.
Right.
So I think time management and, just being in the moment is what I want to work on, is being in the moment with her and with other people. Like you said, we're all working on reconnecting with one another as humans. And so just being in the moment, I think, and being present is what I want to work on. And because life is short, working as a nurse, you see people vulnerable, you see people dying, and a lot of times, they're alone, and you could be 40, you could be 50, 80, 90, you never know, like when your time is going to come, and everything, is so trivial, and it's just, you have to be in the moment and enjoy like every moment. Like it's this your last one because you never know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. What about you?
What's the question?
Like, what's one thing that you feel like you could just like want to put a little more effort and time into to be better at?
Probably time with myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Like my me
That's
time
important.
is so important because I feel like it makes me a better mom, a better friend, a better partner, all around. Like my potential to give and serve, my vibration goes up when I have my me time.
okay.
I
Right.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. That's been a hard thing for me as a new mom because I've always felt guilty about it. But then I've learned that, having that little bit of time is so important to kind of like rejuvenate yourself and kind of, stay centered because
Okay.
if you're constantly giving and giving, so that's
Let me
a good one.
let me tell you this. You know how when you're at home and you can't even go in the bathroom
Oh my God.
and take a shit without your kid beating on the door,
Busting in with
and you're like,
yeah.
holy shit! Like
Yeah.
I literally can't even be in here for like
No.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like I just
They
need.
know. Like Nova will be in her own little world. And the minute I get a phone call or I have to go to the bathroom or anything that doesn't require her, she is like freaking
Yeah.
out. Like,
That's really funny.
So my daughter's 19, and
my
I
God.
am like, I want to take a hot bath and relax. That's kind of my thing. Like I do my bath, I
love
read,
baths
and just
too.
love to like unwind. This kid, I have my door locked. She pops the fucking lock, comes in my room with her friend, and I'm looking at her like my jaws just dropped. Like, are you guys really?
Yeah.
And they're asking me questions. I'm like, I'm naked right now. Can this wait? Can you
Yeah.
give me 30 minutes to
my
finish my
gosh.
bath?
That's-
Like 30 fucking minutes.
Right.
How about a knock or hey mom?
as
That's
kids.
kids.
Yeah,
That's- yeah.
as kids.
And then
Yeah.
I said to her friend, I'm like, is this normal? She's like, I feel like I've seen you naked anyway. She's like, I swim over here all the time. And I'm like, but I'm naked.
That's funny. I think when you're a kid, you don't realize that your mom has needs and
Right.
wants, and like your mom gets hungry, your mom gets tired. Like, no, you're here on this earth to serve me
Right.
and answer my questions and be at my beck and call. So
That's
but
so funny.
it's
Like
cute. You don't-
respect my space.
Yeah.
But in the flip, I always think too, I love that she wants to be around
Yeah.
me. I love that her friends do love me and
Yeah.
want to have conversations with
It's
me.
good.
So instead of getting angry, I have to like flip the switch
Yeah.
and remind myself, hey, it's cool that
She still wants
to be around
exactly.
me.
That's true.
too.
This is true.
So,
Yeah.
Your stories reminded me of the other day. So my 8-year-old, she was coming here from school, and she had I was having a talk with her, and she got mad at me for something. I was taking her back to my ex's, and so literally when they opened the door, my ex is sick that day, and I love her to death. She's sick. She's in her own bed. Blakey walks in there and was crying. She goes, and Kathleen gets up, what's going on? I go, oh, let's have a talk. Blake proceeds to shut her door, lock the door, and Kathleen's like, I just got kicked out of my own room. What's going on here? And she's like huddled over with the blanket. I go, oh my God, I felt so bad. So yes, they just take any space
Yep.
that possible. And I felt awful because she just bum rushed her space, didn't care, slammed the door, and that was it. You know?
Yeah.
So I get that.
funny.
Oh my God. All right. So let's do this, guys. We're going to give you a question of the day. All right. We always
Okay.
do this and have you
I
answer
love
this thing.
this.
So this is going to be along the lines of what we were discussing today. Let's see. Hold on. All right. Here we go. All right. Hi, Christopher and Jamie. Here's my question. If you could have all the money in the world and be by yourself, would you do it? Or would you be with the perfect person the rest of your life and be broke?
The perfect person doesn't exist. Give me the money. I'm just kidding.
Great answer, though. It's a great
I'm just
answer.
kidding.
So true.
A lot of viewers out there with their pencils going, what's the answer going to be?
Yeah.
I like there was a silent pause, though. Jamie, what do you think?
I'll let you finish. Or is that your answer?
No, I
Final.
mean, I mean, if you could find the perfect
Yeah.
person for
Yeah.
you and that your little penguin that you want to be with for the rest of your life, whether you have money or not, it's not going to make a difference.
Right. It's a
I
tough
agree.
one.
Yeah, so I feel like I've had both. And I can say I was the happiest when I was broke. So we didn't have shit, but man, we had a good
You're
fucking
happy.
time.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
So, and then I was someone that had everything, and I was probably the most miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, so for the viewer who asked this question, thank you first of all for asking the question. I don't think there's a right or wrong for this thing. It just depends on where you're at in your life, what stage you're at in your life. We've all you probably had your highs and your lows, just like we have our own personal highs and lows. So I don't think that's something that we can answer correctly, but I agree with you the first time. The perfect person doesn't exist. So, but if that person's perfect for you, then it really shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, bam. I'm good today. I'm going to leave that one
Mo
out.
money, mo
Thank you.
power.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to ask?
I mean, I could ask you questions
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
But I think we should have you back.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
I would
show
love that
back.
too, because
I'd
I know
love
you
to come
probably will
back.
frequent here often, right?
I know.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
want Jamie to adopt me. I call you for mom
Yes.
advice and
Please
everything
do.
now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a form with like strong
And then
women.
we can like ask, like I love, because I started so early and all my friends are now just having kids.
Yeah.
So I love asking my kids like, hey, when I did X, Y, and Z, how would you
did
do
it
it
make you
different?
feel?
And
Yeah.
how did it make you feel? So I'm always able to offer that advice to my girlfriends.
That's great.
That are like kind of going through it. You
Yeah,
know?
I love
right.
it.
And they
Yeah.
will need it. That's for sure. So
Because we don't know until it's too late all the things that we would have done different. I
Differently.
don't want to say that it's wrong, because we always do the best that we can in the situations we're given. But if you could have redirected a little bit different, it could have made things easier.
Yeah. No,
So
for
that's
sure.
what I like to share.
but you got great girls.
They're
You know,
amazing.
so
Yeah.
I
love
so I
them.
see that. All right, Monique, anything you want to plug before
No,
we
thank
sign off?
you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for having me. This has
Yes,
been
thanks so
epic.
much.
Well,
It's
let them know
so
where they
fun.
can find you, our viewers who don't have the YouTube. And
So I'm on Instagram at Monique Nicole LeClair, also
Great.
Facebook, and my website's moniquenicoleleclair.com. You
That's
can
awesome.
find me. I'll be in, I just shot a music video with Wiz Khalifa and Christina Aguilera.
Oh,
will be
that's
coming up in
great.
a couple weeks.
Okay.
So
Please let us know about that. We will let them know.
New video vixen this year.
I love it.
Yeah, and guys, you need to check out her outfit if she posts that video that you
Yes.
showed us.
I
That's
think I have
amazing.
to.
You have
Yeah,
to.
we're sending it to Travis to
Right.
get it up on the show.
For sure.
All right.
All right, what about you, Jamie? Anything new going on?
Yeah, I got this new blade from Microtech. Check it out. It's blue. It
Wow.
matches my outfit.
Right.
Love it.
That's not the one you made, though, right? You're
OTS.
still working on that?
God damn it, Chris.
I'm sorry. I just want to know. I'm curious.
still working on it, guys,
Okay.
but we're projected to be done with my blade by the time NRA rolls around, and I'm actually back out in Asheville with Microtech at the end of this month.
That's great.
So I'm excited.
Okay. All right, guys. And I guess I am going to plug. I actually got some Botox the first time in a long time. So thank you, Younger World Med Spa, for that. And they're just this great new spa that we.
Oh, they're amazing. They
Yes,
sponsor
yes,
all of
by
our
Annie
babes
Wang.
and
She's
toy
freaking
lands.
awesome, man.
So
I went in
that's
there in
Steve
that
Fowler.
place. I'm telling you, I was just like, it's out in like San Gabriel.
I need to go check it out.
It's unbelievable. Her place is
Wow.
massive, and she did it really well.
I've been wanting to get out there. We just
Yeah.
started following each other on
Yeah,
Instagram.
Younger
so-
World Med Spa. And guys, follow me at Fetch Sport on Instagram or anything at Dating Intelligence on all social media. And that is our show for today. Thank you. All right.